Ah, jeez. Though that was a very substantial meal, it was certainly a lot of energy exerted just for one meal. I couldn't have picked a better time to do this? God, I'm such an idiot. You'd think I was an absolute amateur when it came to this. The ground, because of the time, it's practically frozen solid, which of course made disposing of the remains far more difficult than it needed to be. But the hard part is over now. Well, I shouldn't say that. The hardest part is yet to come. The hardest part has always been living with what I've done. He and I were such good friends. For a while I even thought that I was growing fond of him. But that's all in the past now. All that I can do now is look ahead. I shouldn't dwell on what's been done. After all, there's no way to undo it. I just have to hold my head up for now and try to figure out whom I should dispose of next. On the plus side, at least I'm exhausted now. It might be late, but it'll be easier for me to fall asleep. God, I'll probably pass out as soon as my head hits the pillow. Now, where were my pajamas again? Wasn't it this drawer? Well, that is one of the unfortunate side effects about exhaustion. Sometimes you'll see or hear things that aren't really there. I could have sworn I felt someone tapping my shoulder. Not only is that completely ridiculous due to the time of night, but 'cause no one else ever comes into my room. We were all given separate rooms for a reason, and no one would dare enter, especially this late at night, without knocking first. Besides, I didn't even hear the door open. How could anyone have gotten in without me hearing them? There it is again. Absolutely delightful. I love being so exhausted and paranoid and stricken with guilt that I start feeling things that aren't really there. That's my favorite part of all of this. Oh, jeez. How many times do I have to do this? Well, I guess I won't have to keep it up for much longer. I'm joining the Survey Corps after all. After everything Eren said, it just seems like the right choice. And for someone like me, well, I don't really deserve to live a prolonged life. If I join the Survey Corps, at least I'll be put out of my misery before I have to do this too many times. Who knows? If I keep this up long enough, I might actually stop feeling guilty about it. I might start to grow fond of killing people. That is an unsettling precedent. Certainly a future that I don't wish to create. So the Survey Corps it is. And once I die, the world can finally be rid of me. It can finally be rid of essentially another Titan. One who appears in human form and devours her closest friends. Because she's just that heartless. Just that selfish. Okay, I really need to stop dwelling on this. It's certainly not helping with my deteriorating mental state. Okay. Calm down, Sasha. Everything is fine. You're exhausted, you're paranoid because of what you just did, you're feeling guilty because of it, so obviously, because of your exhaustion, your guilt is finding a way to manifest itself in the forms of tactile and auditory hallucinations. That's all there is to it. There's nothing to be afraid of. I said, there's nothing to be afraid of. I'm going to just close my eyes for a moment, focus on my breathing, and I'm going to remind myself that there isn't anything there. I said, there isn't anything there. Thank the walls for that. Hey there. I didn't expect to actually see you. A part of me suspected that you followed me, though I wanted to believe that you took this opportunity to leave, to go somewhere better, somewhere where you could experience the freedom that everyone's fighting for. I thought that you would see this as a good thing, or at least try to look on the bright side of things. But you followed me here. You stuck around. Why's that? You wanted to protect everyone else. That's certainly very noble of you. To be honest, if someone killed me, I'd probably do the same. In fact, even if a Titan brought an end to my life, I'd do what I could to stick around after. Make sure that everyone was still safe. Speaking of which, if you're here to protect everyone else, why appear to me? You're waiting. What for? Oh. Right. If you were to appear to anyone else now, they would assume that you were still alive. It's still late after all. It's dark. It would be very difficult to tell that you aren't corporeal anymore. And since people think that you're still alive and they wouldn't be able to see that you're practically transparent now, they would likely just ignore you or tell you to go away. I suspect then that you're biding your time until people notice that you've gone missing. Then you'll appear to someone in the middle of the day so they can see you for what you've become. Is that it? You know, you really made the wrong decision by staying. For this reason, at least. Do you really think that you're the first one I've seen? I've seen one other person before you. In this state, that is. The thing is, when you stick around to get justice, when you stick around to almost take revenge against the person who did you harm, you're only visible to them. I mean it. Several others have figured it out the hard way, I'm sure. The last one I saw was one of them. She thought that she'd be able to protect people if she'd gone to the afterlife. Perhaps she could have become an angel of some kind. Perhaps then she'd be able to protect people. But now... well, now she's gone, but before that, all she could do was show herself to me, talk to me. There was nothing more for her to do in this world. The same applies to you. How can I be sure? Well, I can't be sure, really. But we'll find out soon enough. I'm sure of that. How long do you intend to stick around? You sound like Eren, you know. You say you'll stick around for as long as it takes. Just to protect everyone else. It'll all be in vain, you know. Yet you're still willing to do it. You really are just like him. Hey, could you turn away for a moment? I need to get my pajamas on so I can go to bed. Huh? Yeah. I can sleep just fine. After a while, you learn to block out the nightmares that attempt to disrupt your slumber. It takes a lot of work, but you get used to it. Soon it becomes second nature. It's almost sad, really. Sometimes I feel so bad about what I've done that I wish a nightmare could torment me, so I could be punished for the horrible crime I've committed. I guess that's what you are now. For a while, anyway. If I ignore you long enough, eventually you'll just fade. You see, a vengeful spirit feeds off of the attention that it gets from the person it is trying to seek vengeance on. So if I ignore you, you'll run out of energy. You'll fade from existence. Until then, you can just try to get by. Try to bear the thought of watching me tear into another one of my comrades. Of course, I'm going to do it again. I have no choice. No, I don't. I promised my family that I'd do everything I could to survive. I'm not going to break that promise. So, if that means carving up some of my comrades and serving them to myself on a silver platter, then that's what I'm going to do. If you have a problem with it, it's not too late to go to the afterlife. Now, if you're done being upset with me for now, I'd like to get some rest. I would advise you to attempt to do the same. And if you do, try to rest peacefully.